if you can look here on the SPY, that's what we're looking at. We did get a pullback past the 9 and the 21. Thought we might get back down to the 50, just like we had talked about our value zone. It's been a great buy zone. Just we're not able to get back down there for this go round. And Friday, just such a strong close, such a strong action that pretty much you got to discount all this now. We're back to the upside and roaring. So looking at the indices, it is interesting. We did have we've talked about this since April, that third week, that options expiration week. We've had these gamma squeezes going on that has helped really kind of move the action one way or the other to provide a little bit of a floor for the market. So we have had pullbacks every month since April, anywhere from 1.25% to 2%. We did get a nice little pullback in here. So the trend continues being strong going into that third week, having that third week being weak. So you look at the SPY, we did get that action. If you look at the Qs, same action as well. Qs did not, same thing, did not come down to their 50, provided a floor right before it. And, we do have these moving averages. The Qs, interestingly enough, are above their 9 and 21. If you look at the IWM, again, poor action. I don't even know if I want to pull this up anymore. I mean, we did get back above the 200, which obviously is important. We did not make a new low. We did not come to the bottom of this channel, but close enough. Moving average is still sitting overhead. So, where last week going into here, it looked like we may be wedging up in here and maybe we get a breakout to the top of the zone. Did not happen. And, I have no interest in any type of trade out of the IWM going forward. As far as the Dow, this almost looked like a classic bull trap in here. You had a nice little squeeze, all-time high breakout. Then they pulled it back, passed below the breakout, did come down, find support at its 50. Now closed back above the breakout level technically. So, below the 9. So interestingly enough, the Dow looking strong, and you had some decent volume come in as well. Now, one warning sign is oil. Oil still flashing lower. We did get a complete breakdown as we expected. These moving averages work really well. Oil riding the moving average at the beginning of summer, all the way up on its breakout out of the $66 level. Now those moving averages becoming lids as it fell back down through that breakout level, and now coming down to a key support level here at this 62 level, and then you got the 200 underlying, and you got 57. So oil's weak, which is something to keep an eye on. As far as rates kind of basing in here. So, and we talked about this, using the rates, using the dollar, really weren't expecting a complete collapse. Because rates were not completely collapsing. So rates, while they are low, they did find a nice little floor, a nice little base. Would have liked them to close above this 1.3 level, but still, the fact that they closed right in here is an interesting level. So you can see here they did not get like before below the 9 moving average as deep as they did prior to, kind of held in here. So that tells us that the market was not going to completely fall apart. So you do have weakening oil. You still technically have lower rates, but if rates next week can kind of climb, and we are going into the Jackson Hole. So I expect some of that technical action, some of that fundamental action is going to take over. And you want to keep an eye on that. As far as the dollar broke out above this important level. Nice little breakout on the dollar, but you pull it back to a monthly look, you can kind of see where we are. as far as historically with the dollar. So, the dollar did break out. That is definitely something to watch. And it also shows you that we weren't going to just completely just fall apart last week. So the technicals, it's really just, hanging in there. As far as the Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin, very strong, really, really strong action in here. And if you look, you can see this high volume node that was formed in August, nice little breakout, and now kind of forming another little high volume node. Bitcoin looks like it wants to just keep on going back up the highs. Very positive technical action in Bitcoin, and the same thing in Ethereum. And Ethereum, and actually with Ethereum, if Ethereum looks like it wants to go back to all-time highs. And I'm going to show you, if you do a Fibonacci retracement here, you can see to the T, Bitcoin topped out in this rally at the 61.8% level on this retracement from the highs to the bottom of that we came down to. So definitely from a technical level, you can see in the high end. So once it closes above that 33,373 level, Bitcoin, Ethereum should continue its ride back up towards highs. So definitely positive action as far as that's concerned on Ethereum, and that's these little Fibonacci retracement levels on that. So definitely interesting action. As far as, hopefully you guys got a lot out of the levels last week, because the market traded in a very technical level. The weekly levels, we talk about this all the time, played really big roles into how the SPY reacted. I want to kind of show you how to kind of maybe review the week a little bit. And if we go back to the beginning of the week, Monday, you can see how this weekly level really provided nice support. This was a nice dip buy out of this area off the support on Monday. You can see Tuesday how it kind of hung around this action right in here. Also, you can see how the pre-market highs and pre-market lows provided some interesting levels as well. You can see late in the afternoon on Tuesday, you had a nice higher low. You find its support at these levels, and you can see that the market kind of broke itself up, gave a bunch of really good technical trades here. Same thing in here, and then on Wednesday, you can see how the pre-market high in here was a lid, and the fact that we couldn't hold above this pre-market high here on Wednesday was a warning sign. We did find support again at this level. This 443 level was an important level last week. Kind of hit up in here the prior day, Tuesday's close, and then fell back down into this area and then just capitulated all the way down. And then going into Thursday, we did have futures kind of break down. But again, this 443 level up, up here was important, as we'll get into Friday. But you can kind of see this level right in here, this level, all playing important areas to where the market was kind of hanging. And then this 443 level was a level we talked about on Friday that first became a lid, got back above, and it's kind of, just kind of bounced right around in here. So strong action, strong technical action. These weekly levels really played in well. And if you go back to the SPY and we go back to the weekly chart, let's kind of zoom in here. And actually, let me see if I can take off all these lines for you. This is the weekly action on the SPY. Okay, and again, we talked about how these wicks on the higher time frames, we like these wicks a little bit better. Okay, if we go to the monthly time frame, you can see still sitting in open arrow on the SPY. But if we come back down to the weekly time frame, a little bit of a doji, but we did make a new high. We did, have a nice little wick, finish strong for the week. So technically, some positive action on the SPY. So that is what we're looking at from a technical level, from a market level. We do have Jackson Hole towards the end of next week. Expect that to be a little bit of choppy action. We're going to get into that. So we'll have to see. It was a strong close for the SPY on Friday. You can kind of see nice 2 strong days on action out of this little base here. And, sellers just, you can't buy any sellers in here to really get a continual bounce and pullback. Now, again, we are through options expiration. Contracts have rolled, so it's definitely, going to be interesting to see how we trade going into next week. As far as stocks, let's get into some stocks. Big cap tech, we talked about Microsoft was one of our top trades on Thursday, continued into Friday. Nice breakout on Microsoft. You can see here, it goes back to our philosophy that when the market starts to come out of a dip, you want to buy the stocks that have stayed strong. You don't want to buy the stocks that were weaker going into the dip. And Microsoft is a testament to that nice action. You can see all in this nice active sequence up right here at the beginning of summer. Nice little breakout as the moving averages started to move up. You had some value here at the end of July, giving you some value back in here. Nice little run if you're able to catch that trade. So Microsoft sitting up there, really pretty nice breakout mode. On the flip side, Amazon still sitting weak from its level that we talked about. Now, technically, it hasn't completely broken down. Tried to get better on Friday. Just the buyers, no income here. We are oversold from RSI standpoint, and the moving averages, as you can see here, have started to catch up a little bit. So Amazon really, 3,200 important level for Amazon, could bounce from here, or if it does fail this 3,200, we could see it back below. Facebook hanging in there, nice support off of its 50 here, as it's proven on this nice active sequence up to B value. Not interested in Facebook, but we are interested in Apple from a seasonality trade. Got back into Apple. We did play Apple in this nice little breakout. And then it just couldn't hold with the market's weak action, but we're back in Apple and we'll see if we can get some action going into the September meetings with Apple. And RSI kind of coming back, but it is above the 50 level. So if you look at Apple on a monthly chart, still technically in a breakout on the monthly chart. So the monthly chart looks a lot better. And if we drill it down to the weekly chart, looks like possible doji in here, but I think you really can count as a wick, and Apple can continue its breakout possibly going forward. So we'll be watching that. One of the top stocks that really broke out on Friday, one of our top plays, which we, I love this stock, had blowout earnings, is Nvidia. Okay, Nvidia has really, nice strong day. You had an earnings day in here. We talked about this on Thursday's trade action. You got all the moving averages pointing up. You had a nice dip buy off the 9, strong action here on Nvidia. And if you look at the, you can kind of see as it kind of fought around this level in here, but nice breakout action, nice strong close on Nvidia. And Nvidia is just a really strong company. Now, naturally, we want to see a nice strong second day. We don't want to see, we don't want to see this little triple top in here kind of fail. But the good news on Nvidia, we're getting some, nice strong action, with higher lows. So we just want to see this, if we get a nice little break out of here. If you look at the monthly chart, you can see nice break out of a base on the video on the monthly chart. It was a nice bull flag right in here. Nice break. Now you're getting another little flag forming, kind of like we saw on the Bitcoin chart. And it'd be nice if we can keep that action continuing. So looking good on the monthly chart. Weekly chart, you can see a little bit better. You can see this base action. Love this breakout on the base action right in here, forming another base, so expecting another breakout. And so Nvidia is strong again when competitors like AMD, a little bit weaker, not as strong of an action. Almost looks like AMD kind of wants to roll back down to this area. Did hold the 21 in here, so definitely best to breed. Nvidia acting well. doing a little bit better for us in there. Another stock that we traded in the past and kind of traded last week toward the end is this INMD. You can kind of see nice little breakout in here, strong action. Just be careful, little overextends. The RSI still got some room to go. But you want to trade it off this high, this 117.90 area in here, this 118 level. Gives a nice little level to trade off if you were to keep on going. But you have had 4 straight positive days. Not happy with the volume. One thing I'm happy with on Nvidia is the volume. Okay, you love these breakouts, you love these hard charging days when you've got increased volume that's following it. That means traders are there. So be careful of that going forward. Another stock that we are still in is this SE. Nice little flag holding holding the 9 in here and the 21. Really kind of held this flag area pretty nicely. We did get some strong volume out of here, so kind of flagging. You kind of got this top line trend line that we're looking at here, trying to break above, coming close here. So this one looks like it could be set up going through next week. You look at the monthly chart. Very working, very nice bar here on the monthly chart. We're sitting above the month before. Got another week to go in this weekly chart. Again, strong finishing close. Technically a wick here, and I know it kind of looks like a doji, but still, I think a strong looking bar in the weekly chart. So I like C Limited going forward. Another stock from a fundamentalist standpoint, I'm looking to get set up. May have to wait until at the end of next week. I don't think it's ready yet. Is Draftkings. Like this breakout here. Having trouble getting over the 200 now. At a recent SPAC, it's kind of hard to trust the 200 here because you don't have a lot of price action. But the key is it is doing technically sound, right? It tried to break above it here. Market week action brought it down, but it really didn't collapse. Holding above the 50, because we talked about how the 50 was an important level for Draftkings in the past. From a seasonality standpoint, it tends to run into the NFL season when it's biggest seasons. So I'll be waiting though for Draftkings to get back above this 200, kind of close. Then when it does, I think you can get running. It's still got some time. I think this week, if it does some more basing action, it may be ready the week after. But we'll be keeping our alerts and setups ready on Draftkings if it can get going. But technically, this sideways action is technically smooth, good action. Nothing much on the monthly to really look home at. Weekly inside bar in here. So again, was a breakout on the weekly chart. Nothing really technically here to say that this is breaking down on the weekly chart. So again, this sideways consolidation can be good because it coils the stock, gets it ready to really run. And so that could be a nice little stock going forward. Some other stocks that we're looking at. This Rblx, traded this a lot in the past. I think this stock is really poised to kind of break and run. You got the moving averages pulling in tight in here, nice and tight. So you do have the 50 overhead, which has, you can see when we say the 50 being a lid, you can see here it's tried to break above this 50 several times. Fell back down with the market, came back though, love this action with higher volume, came back with a force in here, completely didn't fall down, tried to break again on Friday, closed below it. So I think this one's going to be ready to go next week. I love when you have two levels in the same area. You got this daily level, which is the top of this breakout back here last April, the past April. And then here you have it again, and you have the 50, you have the moving averages underneath the support. I think this one's coiling in here and could be ready for a nice breakout. I'll definitely be watching it. You can see monthly chart working on a pretty decent bar. Weekly chart, nice big wick, which we love at the higher time frames. So again, very high on Rblx going forward. Another stock that we like next week, we did play this breakout, was Unity Software. Love the company. Would have liked seen a little bit more volume. Did have some strong volume on Friday though, compared to where it was. RSI trending upward. Nice little trend line break here. Closed at highs. So this Unity software, it was a nice trade for us beginning of the week. Looks like it, could be a nice trade for us here. Inside bar, as far as the weekly, you can see this, what we were working on the week before, which was a nice breakout bar on the weekly chart. An inside bar on this weekly with a wick. So I think this one is poised to keep on going. As far as some other stocks, retail actually did really good. So, if you look at the retail sector, got to be careful here. It kind of is tight going sideways. Retail sales has disappointed with the variant. This is a counter trend, mean revision trade. But you had some earnings come in really strong. We did play Macy's and Kohl's, and they both revised and upped their guidance. So you do have this school season starting. You had a nice little breakout of this trend on Macy's, a nice second bar play on Friday. Kohl's, same thing. Little bit better here is that you had this nice second bar kind of sitting. You got a breakout level up above here at 58. So Kohl's could definitely be something that you see. You see the heavier volume coming in on earnings, obviously. And another stock that we've still in, and we've been trading well, got back in on Walmart. Nice bounce in here on Thursday. Sitting at a nice little flag level, had good news in their earnings from the online segment, can really go in and challenge Amazon. It kind of broke Walmart out of this little basin here, kind of flagging. If you just be careful, those wicks on the daily level to the top side. But you can see the monthly breakout on Walmart looks nice on the monthly chart as far as the bar that we're forming. If you look at the weekly chart, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight weeks of green bars here on the weekly side from Walmart. So coming up towards these highs in here. So with increasing volume, and this is why I like looking at these higher time frames, looking really nicely here for Walmart. So retail, counterintuitive to with the Delta variant being strong. But Walmart kind of bucks that play because they did really well through the pandemic from an online standpoint. So take a look at Walmart. As far as the reopening plays, not sure they're ready yet. RTL, I kind of like this play here, how it's wedging in here nicely. You got the moving averages coming together. I think at some point this could become a mean revision trade, meaning that, counterintuitive with the Delta kind of really roaring its head still in the United States. As that maybe gets under control a little bit, maybe gets out of the media a little bit, you can get these stocks maybe to stretch their legs a little bit. But again, until it gets above the 200, until it gets above this trend line, I'm not really interested in this stock because it could easily break down and fall back through there. The airline's not looking as pretty. Southwest Airlines below all the moving averages, kind of precariously sitting down at this level. If it breaks here, it could easily just keep on falling down to the bottom of the range. So the airlines don't look like they're ready yet. Or it could be a look below and go, though that type of trade really hasn't worked like it had over the past couple months. We did try one of those in NEO. This is our look below and go trade that kind of failed in here. NEO is still weak. Again, I talked about it, this not being the best level to do that off. It really worked in the past off this level. It worked in the past off this level. And again, if you look, they had a look below and then kind of fail in here and then go. So maybe if NEO gets back above this level, I'll take that trade again, but not something that I'm currently interested in. If you look at Tesla, not interested in Tesla right now, though it is kind of nice little, we extend this to the right, nice little trend line up. You can see Tesla kind of getting tight in here, trying to get back above the moving averages, back above 700, then maybe it continues its breakout that it started with. You had a couple negative news headlines kind of hit the tape on Tesla last week. So, just be careful. Tesla's not stock that's going to be in my focus. I think there's a couple other plays. This Autodesk was a good trader from this breakout. Nice move, nice follow in the moving averages all the way up from 300. Nice 10%, 11% trade. Up and created this nice little flag in here. Did find value at 21. Did hold nicely. Nice breakout of this Thursday. Nice second play on Friday. So this Autodesk could break this little top here and keep on going. You look at the monthly chart, you can see the little breakout here. If you look at the weekly chart, again, nice little tail to the bottom. So you can definitely see Autodesk continue its extent up. A couple other stocks real quick that I'm looking at, McDonald's. I was looking for the food plays, maybe to get strong in here, kind of creating this little node. Let me go back to the daily chart. Here you go. You can see this nice sideways node that it's kind of formed in here. Did kind of get back above, held the 50, got back above the moving averages. So McDonald's could be a nice little play. I'd like to see the RSI a little bit stronger. I'll draw a little bit of the trend line. You really, if you look at this, you kind of got a trend line rating here that I will draw. So, a break above out of this trend line here could be a nice trade. Like to see the volume kind of pick up, like to see RSI pick up with it. But looking at McDonald's, I think it could be one of those that's coiled to go. Lithium was one that we missed 2 weeks ago on their breakout. We like to play this LTHM. Nice bar off its 21 here. Nice lift. We did miss this breakout here out of this base. The lithium stocks kind of were rolling. So we'll see if that gets going again. And then also from the shipping side of, a couple theses we're working with from the shipping side. One is this ZIM back above this level. We did play this breakout into here, back above this level. So it looks like it may be getting ready to go. This is more of a swing trade on the basis that, shipping could get going with China having ports shut down. And we'll get a little bit more into that. And then from really the Dow side of things, Tractor Supply, nice little flag, did kind of hold. We did play this breakout nicely in here. Again, not as much alpha as you're going to get out of the tech stocks, but still gave you some good action. Looks like it wants to really go up. It has a date with that 200. And then Union Pacific, still like Union Pacific, kind of holding in here from its breakout as it kind of gets tight in here. And again, it's really tight, so you could get a nice bar out of here and it could break. You technically have a nice sideways consolidation in here. So again, this is more from the Dow side of things. If we do get into that rotation, these are a couple of the stocks that I like. You did have the steel kind of get beaten down a little bit. You did have, Freeport kind of gotten beaten down below its 200. So, a little bit of a reversion there from, I think we had copper, which really had a nice little pullback down to its 200, did find some support. If you look at, gold actually, gold holding up considering how strong the dollar is, rating here. But again, you did see some of these commodity plays kind of pull back a little bit. So it's definitely something to consider. So that's our wrap up for the week. If you want, again, looking at the market, sellers nowhere to be found. So we're expecting, we're going to be using our weekly levels again as signposts. It was really good levels to trade off of last week. Kind of had a nice little downward break that came back into this high value node. Did not found. The interesting thing enough is if we go to the hourly, you can see how we really found support in this high volume node here. So it went really really quick down through this node, which was surprising. But once it broke, it came right back above and quickly came back above to the top. So nice, strong, supportive action in here, which is positive action, obviously, We are back above the 200. Would like to see the 20 get back above the 200. You can kind of see the action in here on the hourly chart. Let's see if I can ever get this kind of get drawn in here. So kind of had some nice support. We are back above in here. So this 443 level next week needs to hold. It needs to, it was an important level. It needs to hold. And then obviously we're going to be looking at this 445 and, we'll see if we can get back up towards highs on the spot.